thank you for tuning back in to Shopping with the Soul. We're on episode 10. We have some special guests in the house today, man. We got our boy Jeff Whitaker, and we got DeAndre Smelter. Am I right? DeAndre Smelter in the house, man.
Hey, real man. Star.
Yeah, real star, man. NFL player, man. Former NFL player, man. And hey, man, we're going to rock it out.
Auburn great.
Yeah, the Auburn great, man. My boy played with Cam Newton. And we're going to get into a little bit of stuff like that to talk to you about how that went and how those experiences was in football and things of that sort. But we're going to go ahead and let everybody introduce themselves. Even though I did just introduce y'all, I'm going to let y'all do it on your own. So, all right, man, I'm Sneaker Twin Solo.
A5. Sneaker Twin, shout out the relationship guru, you know.
I don't even know, can we compete with that? So I'm supposed to say I'm J Dub.
Yeah, you know
but nah, Jeff Whitaker Jr., played ball at Auburn, from Macon, from the MAC. And we just want to spread love. Got my cousin right here.
Yeah, for sure. DeAndre Smelter, also from Macon, east side of Macon, to be exact. You know, just happy to be on this show.
Y'all cousins for real?
Huh?
Y'all cousins for real?
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's all fact.
Yeah. So yeah, this like family.
Yeah. That's dope.
Like in the crew.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
That's dope, man.
I like that bucket, that 478. That's
I brought two of those over.
Oh really? You want to put them on now?
I would have bought a third.
Y'all want to rock them right now?
they twins. They can share.
Hey, you got the black and white. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I might have to put.
So it's the brand. They got the brand of 478, Chasing Your Fears.
Oh, wow.
I think D should start off what he's doing with Chasing Fears. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, you can wear it. Just let me get it. I want to wear it on Sunday when I collect the check.
This is dope.
Wear it on Sunday when I collect the check.
Yes, sir, man.
Oh, I gotta go ahead.
Got
I gotta put this on the whole show.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
478 dress.
Yes, sir.
Y'all gonna look real good sharing that hat.
Yeah.
So, man, you guys, man, let's get into it, man. Tell us a little bit about your experiences and as far as football goes. Just give us some of your experiences as far as like the game of football. What has that taught you? Your lessons that you learned, and
yeah, like where did the game, outside of, how did you start to develop I guess yourself outside of the game of football, because that's a big important part, and that's what these kids don't understand, that it's life after football. And NFL, that it really stands for not for long, and these kids don't understand that you got to start setting yourself up for the life after football. So how did that go in your experience?
Well, let them talk about the experience in football first.
In football first, and then there's a 2-part course.
Right.
In football and out of football.
Yeah, let's go.
You want to take it?
Yeah, you got first.
Okay. I think he said I got first because he was drafted in 2 sports. I ain't want to brag, but I mean, when it's family, you're gonna always throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I started playing football. Mine was a little different. So you got a lot of people that play little league and things of that nature. My experience was I started playing padded organized football at 13 years old. So my mom was afraid that I would get hurt, and then after I started to hit a growth spurt, the coaches would tell her, "No, he probably hurt somebody." True. Right.
True.
So
Very large human being.
Right. He said that when he been trying to say that when he saw me. He's like, "Yo, he huge."
I've never met too many people that make me look small.
Sammy said, bro, he's huge.
But for me, my love for ball started from a tragic situation. My mom passed when I was 12. Oh, wow. And so when my mom passed, we from East Macon, and we from Fort Hill. As we say, Fort Hill. Yeah. I told somebody the other day, I said, yeah, I'm from Fort Hill. They was like, oh, yeah, you've been in college too long. We don't call it Fort Hill, it's Fort Hill. So, but coming from, everybody know the craziness that could kind of go on in that environment. But losing my mom, I started to have depression. I started to have thoughts that I didn't even want to be here. So football was I played the sport, I played outside, but never in an organized situation. So it led me to be able to participate in the game. And the game was my refuge. The game, it was my saving grace. And so, started playing 13 years old and caught on to it pretty quick because my mindset, I was so angry, I just needed to hit something. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And I didn't know that was very parallel to becoming a good football player, not being able to lay the hat on somebody, not being able to. So a part of my start was the death of my mom, then going into ball, and it just propelled me. I went to Northeast High School when I was 14, and then I ended up going to Warner Robins High School at 15. And then from my sophomore to senior year, it kind of got crazy. So, what? It's on you now.
Yeah. Well,
Now this,
I think
this guy, is a different story. This guy got a trophy room before he was 13. I'm on
you
two.
good. No, so I think I started playing organized ball when I was like 8 years old down in Central City.
Okay.
I played on I think my first team I played on was like the Tornadoes or something like that. So I played at Central City growing up throughout my life, but football was always kind of on the back burner because I was always like a baseball player. You know what I'm saying? So growing up, I went to Appleton, then I transferred over to private school up on the north side of Tappan. And so I played ball all throughout there, but my 7th grade year, I didn't really want to play football. You know what I'm saying? My 8th grade year, I played like after the first 2 games, my 7th grade year, played my 8th grade year, then played my freshman year in high school, played my sophomore, my junior year, and I didn't play my senior year because with baseball, So it's always been kind of a roundabout journey, and even when I went to college and I messed up my shoulder, with baseball, I was still always to fall back on football. So even when I still look back on the game, like I'm nothing but grateful because it's done nothing but good for me and picked me up like out of a bad situation. So I don't know, just grateful for the experience. Grateful for all my coaches I done had. They play a huge part in everything. So no, that's pretty much it right there. That's how I got around the game. But like I said, I was dead set baseball. I played my first 3 years at GT baseball. And then after my shoulder, gave out, then I switched over to football.
So not only Bo knows, D knows. D knows football. D knows.
That's amazing, bro.
You gotta be some hell of an
I never
athlete.
knew that. I never knew that. I've heard a lot about you, but I never knew that you was a baseball player. That's crazy.
First love.
Yeah, I never knew.
No, like
Wow.
let me put a little juice on it for Bobby.
Go ahead.
Because he's being very humble about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the family. However, we come from a very loud family, and we don't mind to let you know like who won and the whole nine. But D's story is very significant because he started off with baseball. I mean, that was his love. But D also played basketball. D also played football. So D was the definition of an athlete. So it was he been having a schedule since day one. You feel what I'm saying? And we come from a sports driven family.
Right.
And so when he decided to go to Georgia Tech, when we was getting recruited, everybody caught on at the end that we was like we were really cousins. I'm like, hey, we know that Smelter kid? I was like, yeah, I might know him. We used to say stuff like that, and we maybe go on a visit together. But when we always talk about it now, we should have just combined it and did a lot of stuff. But D was drafted out of high school, right?
Yeah.
He was drafted out of high school and chose to go to college. And then when he had the injury in college, he had to go meet with he wanted to play football when he met with the staff. And he haven't played football in 3 years. He didn't play his senior year.
And they slapped me in a 3-digit number. I was 112 when I first got on GT football team.
Wow.
Facts. To look. Played 2 years there, right?
Right.
In football.
I ain't wear that jersey. It was just on the locker.
Played 2 years, bro. Played 2 years. and was slated for a first round, high second round pick, and tore his ACL against Georgia. Was going off on Georgia. Y'all ended up beating Georgia that year, right?
Right, yeah.
So tore his ACL during the Georgia game, and with a torn ACL, they drafted him in the fourth round. So that like he's really like the athlete, like the true athlete. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so yeah, his story is amazing. So
That's crazy, man.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's really crazy.
That's so dope,
amazing,
man.
bro.
That's so
That's
dope,
amazing.
man.
So, D, I got a question for you. Why do you feel like, man, that they're taking baseball out of our neighborhoods? Like, if you look around, like we grew up playing baseball too. It was
Play,
I don't know if you remember Clark Field.
Yep.
Shirley.
I grew up playing at Shirlington.
Right. So it seems like they're taking baseball out of our neighborhoods. I don't know why. I mean, if you look at the past times, baseball was a very predominantly black sport, but now they're taking it out of our neighborhoods. Why do you feel that?
See, I don't necessarily know why, and I know how you feel too, because Shirlington, Clark Field was important to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but you know, all throughout my time at Shirlington, I played with Terrence Gordon.
Yeah.
You know, me and him was always on the same team growing up, and
Okay.
you know, he did his thing and he's doing his thing, whatever, in the MLB.
Right.
But it's just crazy because you had a group of guys over there that could play ball, you know, especially my whole friend group. But when they closed down Shirlington, we all had to separate. Because I wanted to go play ball up in Jones County, up
Right.
at I forgot what it's called.
Complex.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That they
Complex.
just built,
Yeah.
but I couldn't go play. So that made me go over to the north side of town. I had to go
North
play
Macon.
ball at
Yeah,
North Macon.
North Macon, yeah.
You know, and that's the thing. That's what I always hated the most about Clark Field being gone, because there's so many kids over here that can play.
Right.
But if they get it early enough, they can actually be somewhere, you know, do something with it. You know what I'm saying? But I know that's one thing that I'm hoping that, you know, we can bring back, you know, together. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we can put our heads together and figure something out, bro. But
Figure
that's,
it out, man.
yeah, because that'll be huge for our side of town, especially the east side of Macon. All these kids, for sure.
Definitely need it, man. We definitely.
Tell the people what positions y'all play.
I was defensive tackle, nose guard. My freshman year in high school, I was right tackle, and I used to tell them, I said, I want to play defense. I think I could be pretty good at defense. They was like, well, you know, you just stay here, because I was pretty good at right tackle. And then my sophomore year when I went to Warner Robins, you know, I played defense pretty much the whole time. I would play offensive line. Like everybody, if you're a player, you should know like your second best position, right? And so for me, it was literally nose guard or offensive guard. You know what I'm saying? So I was a nose guard.
And he look
Everything.
Hey, don't let him man sit down fool.
Positions with this dude right here, everything. This dude was everything.
Yeah, in high school I played a lot of positions, but when I got to college, like I said, I pitched in college. I pitched and played outfield for Georgia Tech, and after I made the switch, I wanted to play safety because that's what I played, you know, all throughout high school coming up. I wanted to play on the defensive side of the ball, but they said that my best chance to get out there was probably as receiver. You know, and if you know what offense we ran, of course, you know what I'm saying. So
Glad we never played that. That cut box and you know what I'm saying.
yeah, it's a different animal, man. But
Yeah.
I played receiver, you know, in college and throughout the league as well.
Cool. So yeah, like let's get into the second part of that question. As far as like what we were talking about is like you know, these kids learning that, you know, it's life after football, and the experiences that you gained during football. How did you guys use those experiences that you gained during football, after football? How did it set you up?
You wanna take it first? Or?
Yeah, I will. I would think football helped me from an all-around standpoint, but from most of probably a preparation standpoint. You know what I'm saying? It really taught me how I should go about every single day if I really want to make something happen. You know what I'm saying? And you see that day in and day out with the work you put in, and you see everything that comes out of it make you want to, you know, keep going. but just how to prepare my day, how to be more organized, how to do this, how to do that. Like Cuz said, like I've been on the schedule since I was about 9 years old, just always being here, there, So especially with football, it just wired me how to always like just be just on it. You know what I'm saying? Man, that's how not afterlife, tripping.
Well, after football.
After ball, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
We in heaven right
God
now.
forbid that. We rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
We are still here.
no,
Need
but
to do another mic check. Mic check.
He got
This
plenty more
on.
years left on this earth.
yeah. So but no, so that's how it helped me after ball as well. Anybody will tell you after you get done with ball, especially if it's been a big part of your life for so long, it's tough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That become your identity for so long. Like you look around Macon, some people know me as the baseball player. You look around Macon, some people know me as, the football player, the baseball player that plays football, So when you're done with that, what am I?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it took me a while to, figure that out, but all the groundwork put in up front, that helped me out. You know what I'm saying? Help you craft the plan, help you, figure out what's next. I went to school, I got my degree, finished that up at Georgia Tech Business School. Also went to out to Dallas at a programming coding boot camp, after school to try to, just keep, bettering my skills and just keep learning, you know what I'm saying? So that's what football taught me. I went through 3 different offenses in 3 years.
Yeah.
So I always had to keep learning different offenses.
Yeah.
So even after I got done with ball, it's like, man, all right, whatever, just don't worry about it, just keep going, and that's the biggest thing that ball taught me,
I think that ball is the direct correlation of life. So like, your experience, like football, for instance, sudden change, something crazy happened, pick, you got to go back out there, play defense, or red zone, black zone. So there's a lot of correlation to life. So leaving the game, on my end, I was injured. And I'm the type of, I have the type of mentality like, cut me. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm competing, like I don't like losing, but for me to get off this, you gotta beat me. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So being able to not go through that, and with a lot of talent and with back and knee injuries to kind of sideline me. Like I started off at Auburn like 20 plus starts, and then missed like 24 games due to injuries. You know what I'm saying? So it was very challenging. Like, at the ball, you're still pursuing it. Your body is kind of not where it needs to be. You're trying to push through it. You try to even play just arena ball just to get so the identity is so attached because ball tells you that you're going to make it. You know what I'm saying? And you hear that. And so it was real tough, at the ball. But what I learned from ball was to persevere, to always put one foot in front of the other. Always, if you went through ball and you played college ball, right, and you did school, then you had to worry about the crew, the fam, like you prepared for life.
Right.
Like it's one of the hardest and challenging things you'll ever go through. So you're so prepared for life. So at the end of the day, you just got to understand that ball is everything. And I just feel that, a lot of times the kids got to know the statistics that people throw. Like, a lot of people throw like everybody gonna make it and this and that and the third. However, I'm like, no, look, chasing that logo, the NFL, the not for long logo. However, chasing that logo is helping the teacher teach a class because she got leverage. It's helping the coach be able to keep his team. You know what I'm saying? That logo and that experience with sports helping the father and son relationship that they may have their closest talks or what's going on at the crib. So football is everything. You know what I'm saying? And sports in itself is everything. So I think the kids got to understand, look, you can't do this forever. You feel what I'm saying? But at the same time, give it your all. Because if you give ball your all, what ball gonna do is gonna give it right back to you. It's gonna give it right, and it may not come how you would want it to come, but all my contacts to everything to how I'm moving around in life. If it wasn't for ball, I mean, I don't know how can, like, you know, you sit around even with business and stuff, and like people give you a different direction how you got to do things. And you're like, I just call such and such, and that's like that's not normal. But due to ball, you have a contact list, and so I think, you know, sports is just important. So they got to know the reality, but don't just keep pushing the reality. If they are passionate about something, kids are passionate about something, push that passion. And that passion, I didn't go to the league, but he did, so I feel like I went. You feel what I'm saying? So, but not going to the league, for me, I got a degree. Not going to the league, I got a ton of contacts. Not going to the league, I'm prepared. And then for me to take the entrepreneur route, it was football. I think I would have been gave up if I didn't have a sport light ball to go into the entrepreneur route and to hear no and to hear this, to hear that, to get to the point where I'm going now. So yeah.
And really just to know, just think about it. If you go half-ass and ball, that trickle into everything else that you do. You know what I'm saying?
Half-ass football.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
and then once the quicker you realize that, the quicker you start realizing, like, man, if I'm gonna be out here, I might as well go 100.
Come on.
You know, and so you can just do that consistently. You know, and that's how you manifest something. That's how you make something come out of it. You know what I'm saying? And even with right now, you know, I train kids now. You know, I stopped doing what I was doing with the programming just to train kids back here. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, I feel like that's what it's all about. And just gotta give them back that knowledge. And that's the knowledge that we gained and that we just able to pass back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how we just gotta keep doing it. Just like we talked about with Shermanson, how we talked about with all that. So
Yeah. This the go-giver mentality. It's no giving. It's like a lot of people say give and take. It's really no taking.
No.
You give and people give back to you. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like one of the books that we both have read, The Go-Giver, and then one of the examples is it's like oxygen and carbon dioxide. What the plants give to us and what we give to the plants. We don't think about it. We just give it so freely. And I think that when everything that we talk about is, you know, before I could give something to you, I can't say I love him if I don't love me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I can't really so it's like whatever I give to me, so all this knowledge that we don't learn from ball that's been given to us, sown into us, like now we just give it freely. You know what I'm saying? It's a conversation. We understand like with business and all that, but it's like, man, like even if you didn't work out, because a 5-minute conversation could change your whole perspective.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
That's true. That's true. So true, man. So true. Yeah, man. And I just heard something that you guys said, man, that was so interesting to me, and which is my mindset. I always feel like, you know, the only reason that we've been able to make it for 5 years in business is because we gave. You know, and I just feel like I tell people all the time, and I'm writing a book now, and the biggest thing, one of the biggest things that I've learned throughout my life is that if things are not happening good for you and things are not going your way, you need to check how you give, how you serve, you know, because that's the word that we're all looking for, you know, good and thy faithful servant, you know. So you got to be able to serve wherever you're at in life. If it's not going good for you, check how you serve, you know. So that's the biggest thing that we always preach, and that's the biggest thing that I always preach, man. If you give, it's always gonna come back to you full circle. You know, whatever you put out is gonna come back to you, you know. And the things that you manifest, the things that you talk about on a daily basis that come out of your mouth, if you're giving, it might not happen then, but you'll look up 2 or 3 years down the road, and you know you'll be way farther along than what you thought you were on your path, you know. So
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing, man.
That's real, bro. Because servants, you know, you got to make sure that your servants is bigger than your ego.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like heard Quincy Jones say, when pride and ego walks in, God walks out. So it's like that mindset of I'm here to serve.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it. That's it.
And while I'm serving others, when I can love myself, and I can take care of myself, and I can serve myself, be so grateful, like he was just speaking about, it's so easy to, because it's abundance.
Right. Yeah.
Like it never runs, it never runs out. Like,
I mean, opportunities of a lifetime just come out of nowhere.
Right.
You're not even expecting it. And I think, that's the biggest thing when things happen for you, when you don't even really be expecting it.
Right.
It just, I did this and I did that, and, I planted the seed, and then I just sit back and I just watch it grow, and that's the thing, man. Sometimes you gotta plant that seed and, leave it there and go out and just do the work and have the faith and just watch it grow. And that's the thing about it, man. And I think, that sets you up in life, and that's the number one thing. Those are things that I learned from football and basketball and things of that sort, going through significant knee injuries and all that stuff too. So, I understand, man. I understand exactly where you guys at. Now, I never got to your level, but I ain't never get to y'all level, but I understand where y'all at, So, man, yeah, that's really good, man. That really touched my spirit, man.
No, that's real. Even when you said it's like planting the seed and you kind of let it sit there, little do you know, that's what you always thinking you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're thinking you letting it sit there, but the more attention you put into it, that's just you watering it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
It's just you watering it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, when you continuously do that, that's how you make something out of it. That's how something grow. You know what I'm saying? That's how something root. That's how something stem. You know what I'm saying? But like we said earlier, that's just the world we live in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just give me take. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? So,
one of my favorite quotes: "The sun never tells the earth you owe me,
No.
and a love like that lights up the sky." So it's like you don't.
Say it again for me. Say it again. I bet that was a little too deep. You know that. Say it again for us, bro.
The sun never tells the earth you owe me, and a love like that lights up the sky. So that means that even the filth that the poison in the earth, it still shines on it, and it cleanses it. So it's that it's just that when he said that the way the world moves, that's how that's how nature moves. Nature just give.
Yeah.
That's it. And so that means when you're giving, you're in tune with nature.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're in tune with the original, the creator.
Right.
No matter what you believe, Yahweh, the original, the creator, God, like you're in tune with everything. When I could hear you out and be concerned and give you my time, my knowledge, so yeah.
Dope, man. So we're gonna switch this thing up just a little bit, man.
Do it.
You guys, man, that was amazing, man. We're gonna switch this thing up just a little bit. I told you guys, I introduced myself as the relationship guru.
We're gonna hold you to that.
Because
Let me tell you something. Whatever I leave, and if I try and it don't work out right, I'm coming for you, man.
I will tell you. But yeah, man. Well, we got a couple questions for you guys. So, what do you got when you guys are looking for a relationship? What are the small things that you look for?
So we'll keep it going. Oh, you gonna throw this on me? I mean, it's the perspective of what you call small. Just a thing you look. For me, I want somebody who have the ability to love themselves. Understanding that I don't necessarily fulfill you. That you fulfill. Like it's not even a 50-50. It's just like we talking about this give and give is 100. Percent. Somebody who. I would like somebody who's interested in sports.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's always a plus. Always a plus.
That means we don't. If the wedding's for to happen, we understand that football season we're not getting married in football season. And for me, on a part like just somebody I could pray with.
Yeah.
Somebody who could pray for me. Somebody I could pray with, and I just know that the family. You just like losing my mom at 12. She was a praying person, and so she instilled that in us so much that me and my brother still pray today with each other. So it's like I want somebody who understands herself, understands the importance of just giving that love and somebody who's sports oriented. At least will check it out with me. You feel what I'm saying?
right.
But we can go in the box. We don't have to. You know what I'm saying? I can set you up right. You know what I'm saying? But somebody that also is not ashamed to surrender and understand that we don't have all the answers, and let's pray about it.
Cool, man. You gotta have that physical attraction too, right?
That's why I walked over there.
We can't leave that out. You gotta be attracted a little bit. Like, you gotta be a little easy on the eyes.
Can't be
That's
no
why,
Googles.
no, that's why I walked over there. You know what I'm saying? I like what I saw. That's why I didn't even bring it up, right? I ain't start up. She's gotta be bad. She's gotta be a. Hey, bro, look.
You seen your ass coming from miles away.
Come on!
Damn big.
100%.
Go ahead,
It's
bro.
on you. It's on you. You nervous now?
No, hey, I'm just not the person to come to when you talk about relationships.
Heartbreak Hotel.
Not even
Nah,
like that.
listen.
Even
The skill guys are different. Big boys, we all hug. You know what I'm saying?
even cause no, I be locked in, so I don't really that be so far to the side for me.
Though you gotta still say something though.
Why?
I don't know, man. We came on that show. We should at least. We should at least. If it was, like.
Hey, honestly, I just need a girl to be cool. Like whichever way you want to take it, but when I say cool, it's just like I'm not a combative person. You know what I'm saying? So if you pushing and pulling a lot, you know what I'm saying, and we not just flowing well, then I know it's not.
Yeah.
This ain't it.
I got you.
What Moneybag and Yo got his head. You doing too much? Yeah. So they be
Doing too
doing too
much.
much.
Exactly, man. So that's why.
Lot of
So you already know what that means. That means D probably like, I've been thinking, it's me.
One nigga saying me. You sound nigga.
It ain't even about you right now.
about you.
It's me.
It's me.
And I just want you to be great. You know what I'm saying?
We start blaming ourselves later. I'm saying right now. It's time we can get gone.
It's over. Here we go though. We
We
finna
start blaming
go.
ourselves. It ain't us. It's y'all. Well, the easy way just is
Take all the blame.
Right. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Are we answering this question or what?
Absolutely. We gotta hear what y'all got.
Well, as you guys know, the listeners know, I've said it several times. I've been married for 12 years?
Oh,
Going
man,
on
you
12
locked
years.
in.
Yeah, so I got married when I was 20. I don't advise anybody to do that. Don't do that. If you can, don't do that. I had my kids early. But as far as when I was looking for somebody, I'll be honest with you. I really wasn't looking for nobody. It just fell in my lap. It came natural, and through all the hard times, through all the trying times in my marriage, it was one person that was always consistent and there by my side, and that is my wife. So right now, the level that we're at, as far as being 12 years in, we know each other. Like, she is my best friend, and we're just on a different level than what other people may see and may do. I think that the realest thing in a relationship is just being authentic and letting it be authentic and free flowing, like you said. And it's just, I don't have to try to be anybody else. I can be myself, and that's the biggest thing in a relationship.
But
just being yourself.
also talk about like we've discussed this on a personal level all the time. Like,
Right.
Talk about how many times. Like going through her changes and how you had to love her through her changes.
Right, and that's the biggest part that I want you guys to understand, especially when you get in a relationship, in a long-term relationship, in a marriage. Women, they tend to change a lot. They change a lot, like every 2-3 years, and you just gotta learn to love them through their changes and love them through the things that they go through, and love and the same way with you. You change and you evolve too into a different person. You're not the same person you were when you were 18. I know I wasn't. That's 14 years ago. I'm definitely not the same person I was when I was 18. you know, and I changed a lot. You know, I was, you know, a bit of
Define
a,
change.
I was a bit of a mama's boy when I first, you know, got married. You know, I was only 20. So, you know, I mean, my mom was all I knew, you know, mom having, you know, and naturally, you know, when your mom is the way that she is and being that nurturer, you know, she's not going to like your wife, you know, and, you know, I had my kids and my wife in Nashville, and I picked up my whole family and moved us back here. And, you know, it was a bit of a struggle at first in my relationship because my mom and my wife, they bump heads constantly. But the crazy thing is, they were just alike. That's the thing, you know what I'm saying? So they bump heads. My mom seen, you know, a bit of like what we were going to go through because her and my dad kind of went through the same things and the same issues, you know. So that in itself is a big problem in relationships, bro. Just learning how to love, you know, and that's why relationships don't last a long time and people are constantly getting divorced because that person changes and it's not what you're used to. And instead of trying to do everything you can to work it out, you just give up on that person. You know what I'm saying? So, and I didn't give up. You know, I just did everything I could to make it work. I prayed and she prayed. And, you know, honestly, man, 12 years later, man, it's a huge testament to both of us because, you know, we didn't give up. We didn't give up on our kids. You know, in the trying times, we stayed together. And, you know, like, it's a huge honor and it's amazing to just see your kids growing up in the same household with two parents. It's rare these days, man. It's really rare. So, you know, and being that young and being married, you know, it's crazy, man. You know, so I mean, big shouts out to my wife, man, and the relationship because
awesome.
hey, it's good. It's really good, man, when you can look back over the experiences over the last 12 years and say, hey, man, we made it, and we can, you know. It's really to help somebody else. Like you said, you know, it's really to help other people, man, when you're going through things. So that's cool, man.
Congratulations, man. That's huge.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. It's been hard, man.
Is it like you know, I heard people say like year 5 is challenging, year 10 is challenging. Is it
No, I wouldn't say.
For me, it was what?
So you 12 years too?
No, I'm 8 years.
Okay.
I'm 8 years this year, and for me, it was probably about year 3. Year 1 and 2 was really good.
Y'all still in the honeymoon stage?
Yeah,
Or,
year 1 and 2, man. You know, we.
But you married your high school
money.
sweetheart too, though.
And I married my high school sweetheart.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, and I mean, year 1 and 2 of our marriage was really good. Year 3, you got
Challenge.
Because when they first went, so it was different for them because when they had a kid, then it changed, you know. So
Right.
you know, it changed, you know, things that'll change things. You know, women, they go through different stages and different things when they have kids, man.
Right.
So you know, you gotta be able to adjust to that, and it's hard, man. It's hard. So
Yeah, that's what it was. Year 3, we had our first kid, and that's when everything damn, man, it got hard. But I think as we adjusted to our first kid, we adjusted. Everything started to come together, and then I started to really learn how to love her again and everything like that. Because, like I said, you're gonna have to follow love again.
yeah.
Yeah.
You fall out of love, bro. You really do. You really do fall out of love, bro.
so you saying that's a part that you have to go through is falling out of love?
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
And that's so scary to hear, bro.
It's
That's
necessary
terrifying.
because sometimes
That's so terrifying to hear. Like,
it
They don't
just-
understand. They don't understand. They're gonna be next year. Episode 99. Jeff, how are you? Still single?
Bro, it's serious, man.
No,
It's
seriously,
like
though,
if that house is not, it's gonna tear down sometimes, but it has to be built on a solid foundation, you know. And if that foundation is not solid, it's never gonna last. You know, it's always gonna end up in destruction. You know, it's always gonna end up where, you know, in my situation, it would have been crazy because, you know, my daughter clings more to her mom, and my son clings more to me. And just imagine, you know, my wife is from New York. So just imagine me having to travel to New York to see my daughter, and she hadn't come to Georgia to see my son and us splitting them up. And, you know, just imagine that trauma that it would have caused on them. So sometimes, man, it is best just to work it out if you can, man. You know, I ain't gonna tell some situations.
You need to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Some situations when people ain't they ain't good, no good for you, yeah, you definitely got to get out of it. But if it can be worked out, you definitely need to. You need to, man.
A little pretty on your pockets too if you work it out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially if you're building. If you're building, and you're building, you know, you definitely don't want to get a divorce when you're building.
That's what I said.
Because half of what you built is gone.
Hey man, was you crying when I was out here? like that, like them, like athletes. You see a lot of athletes, military, those like the careers of like high divorce rates.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
even police officers. You know, firemen. You know, stuff like that. You put a lot of time out, and it's like, man, I remember it used to just. Some of my boys like, man, but she wouldn't. What Drake say? You weren't with me when you were shooting in the gym. Hey, so it's like, you know, that is because I know some guys that only thing they wanted her to sign was a prenup, and she went with it, and they didn't get married. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just
I understand you want to protect yourself, but at the end of the day, man, you know, really it's true, bro, and you know. Hopefully one day y'all will get a chance to experience this, man. Behind every great man stands a great woman.
Yeah.
For real, seriously, because I mean, I got plenty of opportunities from my wife just standing beside me, standing behind me, and you know, really, really pushing me into what I was called to do in my dreams. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
you know,
what's up,
it's
bro.
important to have somebody who cares about you, that really, really cares about you to the core. You know, and it ain't. You know, it ain't too many. You don't get too many opportunities in a lifetime. You know, it's with just people that really, really just care about you and that are concerned about you.
Gotta
You
be
don't
a
really
woman,
get
can't be none of these.
So he,
There's a lot of them. It's a lot of man. It's a lot of them, man. It's
I
not
feel like y'all generation, you know what I'm saying? Although y'all just not too much older than I am, but like the selection of females out here now is just different.
It is, man.
And it's scary, bro.
Speak on it,
A
rap.
lot of them, a lot of girls out here, man. City girls are raising them. So you know, yeah.
I'm saying,
Cardi B raising them.
yeah, but Cardi B married. JT got a boyfriend.
But
I don't know if Uzi a dude or a female sometimes, but you know,
oh wow,
Megan Thee Stallion got a boyfriend. Like it's like they pushing this shit out in this music, and these people are like taking it as a lifestyle.
yeah,
But what I preach to like the jits and shit, like you gotta understand the difference between somebody's government and then they stage name.
Mm-hmm.
Cause even with me, A5 is not Jeffrey. A5 has never been on a golf course. I'll beat the fuck out of A5 in golf. Like, that's somebody totally. That's a whole different. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta understand like what's being done out here for a check, for publicity and all this other shit, and then real life.
right.
People can't find that fine line in between real life and the shit that's done for the media and shit like that. And that's what get people fucked up, and that's what got these women out here like walking around butt naked and shit like that, but want to be respected. Like how, Sway?
There's no way I can respect you. Like
Yeah.
when I see
You
stuff
want
like
me to
that,
treat
man.
you like a woman and whine and dine you, my nigga? Why don't you just pop some pussy over there and got recess, my nigga? Like, no, man, this shit wrong. That shit goes. No, but for real, like, I mean, it's like that though. It's like that, and it's sad. It's sad because it used to not be. I mean, you look at the music video. You look at the music videos from early 2000s. Women at least were dressed somewhat. Nowadays,
I don't know. I saw, I don't know. Nelly tip drill.
Yeah,
BT
that was the
Uncut.
first one. But that was the first one. That was really good.
Now
we stayed up
They
at
had to play that shit on
night.
Uncut.
We definitely stayed up at nighttime and watched that.
that was something that like was not just shown nowadays.
Facts.
Like
Yeah, that's a norm
it's like I
nowadays. That's a norm.
feel bad for like sometimes like I be in here in Global Soul. I be cautious of some music videos I play because like Sammy being here. And, I mean, little bro was 11 years old. Like when I was 11, bro, I wasn't seeing ass and titties on TV like that. Like I wasn't.
Nah.
If you wanted to see
Did
that,
you-
bro,
what-
you had to go to
Find mama tape.
They know my stash, closet.
Yeah, go sleep in the closet and find the stash. Yeah, y'all
You had to go to. I'm gonna take it back. You had to go to the Jet magazine and see the mother. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, all you gotta do is go to YouTube, and it's out here.
But you had an older brother?
I'm the only child.
Oh, okay. So I had an older brother. I'm not going to discuss. That's all I'm going to say.
Only child, so I
brothers.
creeped into all my stuff on my own, and it's just like, just the thing. I feel I consider they call me old all the time 'cause I like Jen, but I also like I like old school music, and like I was blessed to have both of my parents in the same household coming up.
That's what's up.
And I was like I peeped a lot from my old boy and from his father. And then his father, I was lucky to have my great grandfather live to 91 years old.
Really?
And so I was trying to like pick his brain as much as I could being a jit. And it's like things are just different now. Like it's just.
So everybody in here grew up at some point with both parents.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was at both. I had both parents until college. Yeah.
Man, so I never. My first time being in the two-parent household was I was with my aunt and uncle when I moved to Winter Island.
Oh.
So I never like just hearing that, like you know, just looking at that and having a figure to look at. You know, like every day you're gonna want to move like this person. You're gonna, you know what I'm saying? So, and my dad was more. My dad never lived with us. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I knew my dad, went with him, but it was out and in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I say, like probably one of the best grade as for a small child, but as far as like a young adult, like the coolest dude, like even now, like if I call with any situation, but it was that's cool to grow up.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a
and
blessing
too.
because the world. Things happen in the world, and nowadays it's like it's almost like people just don't even when we hear that fucking kids, like some folks really mean that.
Yeah, they do, bro. They do.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's unfortunate. My first job was at a daycare center, and I fell in love with kids. I can't tell you. I have no children, but I've changed at least 1,000 diapers. You know? And
okay.
I enjoy the youth coming here, our future. But it's like you gotta protect the youth, man. You got to.
Right.
At all costs.
If you don't, who gonna do it? You know. And I just feel that way, bro. I feel.
And you don't want to be 90 years old, you know, living your best life, you know, trying to teach some youth, and you get robbed by some jits.
Right. I mean, you gotta.
You don't want that, you know.
I always say, and I heard this, and I believe it. You know, the richest place in the world is the graveyard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so a lot of dreams, and I heard Les Brown say, like, you don't ever want to be on your deathbed surrounded by your dreams saying, we was here. You know, and you was the only one that could. So it's like, even with Macon, it's a lot of craziness that going on in Macon. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if everybody go back, like, they need to do this and they need to do this, like, nah, that's why God made you. So what can you do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you may not, you know, it's what, yeah, he was right when he said, when Tupac was like, I may not be the one to inspire, but my voice may inspire the person who's gonna, you know what I'm saying, spark the whole movement. And so you gotta, I think that's the main thing, you know, of understanding what you got, your worth, and just giving it. So, you know, giving that worth and giving game, because at the end of the day, like we started with, we are here to give.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so
That's why I value these guys so much, because they're the definition of that, man. I've been seeing that. I've been a team member of Global Soul since 2018.
that's what's up.
That's all I've seen.
Yeah.
And
Y'all coaching together, everything.
yeah, I mean, like if I don't have, like I said, I'm only child, but blood couldn't make us any closer. You know
That's
what I'm saying? And it's past my relationship with these two. It's past business. You know, because it's like the things that they want for our people and the culture is mutual. And it's genuine.
Yeah, it's genuine. It's different. You know, it's different when you're genuine, man. It's different when you want sometimes more for people than they want for themselves. And you know, I think that's one of my definitely God-given abilities is being able to have like this like vision as far as like what Raven had. Like on
That's all right.
I kind of got that kind of vision because I can see things developing and happening before they actually happen.
But shoot, develop them lotto numbers for tomorrow so we all
That's not of God. It's not of God, Jim.
Hey, you know what? I got a question. So, you know, y'all was at Jones County the whole time, like
Right.
from elementary to.
Right.
Yes.
So that means y'all went at an all black school and then saw. Like my first time going to school, like more than 2 white kids was like when I was 15. And then you said, Jeff, you was at Warren Robins down there, so you went to
House of County
House of County. So you went. I mean, I gotta say Warren Robins.
VE squad.
Veterans, yeah.
Awful. It was awful. And then Tano. So like, how was it like at a younger age, like 8, 9? Was it a culture shock when you was 8 or 9 or 10? And
I definitely could see. I think I learned at probably like 8 years old or 7 years old that they looked at us different.
Really?
And I want to tell you why. Because I always been a little French kid, man. I hate to be that way, but I think I was in the 3rd grade, and I actually wrote this. I wrote this little white girl a note, and she took it. She put it in her backpack, and she took it home. And I guess
Was it like a nice?
it was a nice note.
Okay.
It didn't have anything. I just like
I like you.
I like you. Just
Circle.
Right.
Yes.
Yes and no.
No.
Just simple
Yeah,
note
I
like
got
that.
you.
So, and then she put it in her backpack, and the next day, I got called into the office. Her parents was up at the school. They wanted to see who actually wrote her this note, and they put me in this place called OR. They put me in ISS or something like that. It was OR. It's similar to ISS because I wrote a note thinking of a love interest. Like I just liked her. Like that's it. So I've always looked at it like I knew then that they looked at us different because I really just got profiled because of the color of my skin. Because see, who is this? Who is this? Right? I mean, I feel like they came to the school because they knew who I was. I mean, I guess they figured out who I was, and then
Did your dad have to talk with you then?
my dad. I don't think my dad talked. I think my mom talked.
He never really spoke like that growing up. I mean, he was there, and I mean, he said subtle words, and the words that he said, they stuck. But the great thing about it is that once you become a dad, you see some of the mistakes and some of the things that your parents did, and you don't want to repeat. You know, not letting your kids have a voice, not letting them speak, not letting them express themselves. You holding all that hurt inside, all that pain inside, because you got to be a man. Man don't supposed to cry. Man don't supposed to do that.
That's a
No,
lie.
that's a human emotion. You know, you're supposed to let that stuff out, and you know, all that pride being bottled up inside you, it hurts you. It hurts you as a person because it stops your development. It instantly, as soon as you're filled with pride, it stops your development. It stops everything that you're trying to do because, you know, you become a person that you're not. You know, pride makes you become somebody that you're not. So, you know, those are lessons that I learned as far as dad goes. But, you know, he was a great dad, and I can't think of any time that he wasn't there for us. But it was just, you know, different than what it is now. Being an entrepreneur, I pick my kids up from school. I take them to school. I'm there at everything. I'm there for them. You know, I talk to them. I got an open communication, open door policy. You know, if my son's gonna cry, come here, son. I'll hug you. I love you. You know, bro, that's
We
something.
get those things. Yeah.
It was not a lot of love yous.
No, I don't think I heard my dad tell me he loved me. So I was like,
18.
nah, I'm like 20, bro.
18 for me. 19.
And see, mine was a little bit different. Like My dad told me as soon as I moved to Georgia, 'cause I really didn't want to come here, coming from South Florida.
So you was hot.
Like I mean, I was born in Key West, and so like, and all my family, my
Everything
mother,
about you, Jay, is just amazing, man.
but not like,
I was in
like,
Florida, man. I ain't
my
really
mother
want
and
none of
father,
this. You know?
they met in high school in Miami, in Central High School, and so I would spend so much time down there. And like when I found out, I spent like 2 years in Colorado, and I found out we had to go to Georgia. I really didn't want to come, and he was like, "Listen, son, you're gonna have to be twice as good as the white kid in your class to be on the same level."
Right.
And I didn't understand that.
Right. Right.
I'm like, what the fuck do you mean, Kobe Bryant? Like, I'm like, why do I have to be twice as good as them? And we in the same class, with the same age. Both our breasts stink. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We had the same thing for lunch.
Both bleed red.
Like, why do I gotta be better? And he was like, when you get older, you'll understand. But I'm telling you now, if you make an 80 on the test, and they make an 80 on the test, and they're looking for somebody to go to the honors class or whatever, they're gonna pick them over you 10 times out of 10. He told me that young, and then he left it alone. And then so every time something came up, I remember as my 9th grade year at Houston County, we won county championship, and it came down to my score. Whether we won the county championship, we were playing against Northside, whether we won the county championship or not to go to region. And we won because of my score. But then I had to compete and practice with somebody who scored in the count to go to region. I'm like, Dad, that's not fair, but I'm the reason why we're the county champs. Like, I kind of almost did this by myself, but golf is really an individual game.
Right.
Like, you got a team, you put your team scores together, but your score is based on strictly your individual performance.
Right.
I'm like, Dad, it don't make sense that I got to compete against this person, and I already won. Like, I just took the county championship picture holding up the trophy. He was like, remember what I told you when we first moved to Georgia? And I was like, yeah. He was like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You gotta be better, 2 times better, just because of the color of your skin and you're a black male.
Yeah.
And so he told me that young. I didn't have to experience it in a way that you did, because he let me know from the get-go. And then it was really like it was really a slap in the face, and I was like, damn, boss was right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He prepared me for the situation. I was able to go and perform how I needed to, but like he told me, and he already knew. I guess he had that So Raven moment.
So, man, we're going to close this out. We're going to give everybody a chance to say some closing remarks. Got 30 seconds. We'll start with you, bro.
Well, man, like I say, man, it's been great having you guys on. Appreciate you guys for doing this, man. And always shout with the soul.
Definitely. I want to thank y'all for coming out. And stay prayed up, and shout out to all the melons.
So, yeah, man, definitely. I want to appreciate you guys for coming out, man. It's been a real humbling experience. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. It's definitely infectious. And thank you for your knowledge, man, and spreading that to our listeners and to us, man. I appreciate that. And, of course, Shot with the Soul. And, again, man, if you ain't where you want to be in life, check your giving. And another thing, please never say the word twins without putting sneaker in front.
I always remember that love is the cure, and I believe that we appreciate you guys for having us. Making support making.
Oh yeah, always.
And just understand that grace, mercy, and love is it'll get you through a lot. So understand that grace going to allow you to go through some things. Mercy, you can't point the finger at others because you understand your imperfection. And love, without love, you have nothing. So grace, mercy, and love. And what y'all say, shot with the soul.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nah, man, appreciate y'all having us. It's been great just to get on here, kind of, share our experiences, because, people need to hear that.
Sure.
It just feel good to see, people doing good things around the city, because, like y'all do, like we all got big visions for the city,
Yes.
moving
Yes.
down the line forward, and we all working to, implement that. you know. And that's one of the reasons, you know, the hats we got on the 478. Like I
yeah.
see, you need an
Yeah.
envy, you know what I'm saying? We got nothing to associate.
man.
We got nothing to associate with. You know, Atlanta got the A. We need something. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole part of that, and just to realize that we won for real. You know, and the back of that hat is chase your fears. You know, that's the brand mantra. You know, you can chase money, you can chase anything else, but you know, if you chase those, you're gonna be fine. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's bigger than any individual. Like you said earlier, it's for the whole city. You know what I'm saying? And for us to come together and really make this happen. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, appreciate y'all for having us.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. With that being said, man, we're gonna close this thing out, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Let's go.
I ride with the soul. Hey, what you tell the team? Come shout with the soul. Global soul. Global soul.